Hey everybody, I'm back. Okay, yes. All right. I had to take a beat. I got a little sick and it hit me in the head, and so I had to spend some time recuperating. And today I'm actually feeling better. I'm not 100, but I'm better. Okay? So, here we are. Let's get into the video. This is us, I'm sure. Okay. Toby and Kate. Let's start off with Toby and Kate. So Toby and Kate are like going through all of these times when they were getting it on. All these times when it was Mr. Nasty time. Okay? And we fast forward to now, and there are no boots being knocked around Toby and Kate. That's sad, right? So sad. It's because of the baby. Also because Toby has lost some weight and got in shape and picked up some muscle. Okay? Look, I love it, me personally, all right? And Toby tried to create a mood with Kate. You know, he really tried, but she doesn't want to do it with the baby there. I ate some of my husband's pizza. That's where I'm at in my life, okay? Okay, so Toby suggests maybe that Kate should call Rebecca. Have her come over, watch the baby, right? So that's what they do. They have Rebecca come over, watch the baby. They go and get a hotel room, and there are rose petals and you know, a lot of mood lighting and candles and just wonderful things happening here for them. And yeah, it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening at all. It was very sad. You know, you wonder, where did we go wrong? What happened here? And you do. You wonder, we started out so great. How did we get here? Well, in most cases, the men overthink. Toby was overthinking, okay? First of all, he's thinking about the fact that earlier, when he was about to throw away some jeans, some clothes that he couldn't fit anymore, Kate told him not to in case he gained the weight back. That made him feel some type of way, like she don't want him to win. Like she don't think he can do it. So he feels that. And then he also feels that he knows if he doesn't do this correctly, she's going to feel like he's no longer attracted to her, which is exactly how she felt. And she kept asking, and he kept saying, no, that's not it. And when he finally explained how stressful it was, they just decided to go on back to the house. Okay, so they go back to the house. And Kate goes into the bedroom and gets these jeans and comes out and starts cutting them up. Okay? And he was like, this would be so great if those weren't the wrong jeans. And right after that, he walks up to her and he tells her that she's still his fire and desire. Okay? I don't think I can do it. You know, fire and desire, baby. Okay, a little bit. Both to blame, both to blame. Okay, yeah. Okay, I did it for a second. I don't want to push it. I have some other videos to get out. We don't want to do too much to the vocals. First day back, okay? Yeah, so they had 5 minutes to make it happen before Rebecca came home. So they made those 5 minutes count. Good for them. Good for them. It would have took me longer than 5 minutes. But you know what? However y'all had to get it done, I'm glad. Okay, so we go in the past, all right? Rebecca and Jack are just now dating. We all know that Rebecca's family is not that fond of Jack. The dad who she thought would love Jack doesn't really. I think his name is Dave. I'm just gonna keep calling him Rebecca Daddy, okay? Because I couldn't remember whether it was Dave or not, okay? But all I know is Rebecca Daddy, who could possibly be named Dave, doesn't see it for Jack because he wants better for his daughter. He sees struggle when he looks at Jack, okay? He sees hardship. Lower middle class, like that's what he sees. He doesn't want that for her, and I totally get it. Like, as a person who hopes to one day be a parent, you know, if not, okay, but if I do, I would really like to hope that whatever I can give them, I hope that it's better than what I was given, and I hope that they have better than I have. Like, I that's just how I feel. I feel like we're supposed to progress. We're supposed to do better. So I hope that my children will do better than me. And I feel like, you know, I retired earlier than my father. So, I mean, I look at it as retirement because I feel like I could have worked for 10 years. It was very hard. It was very difficult. Okay? But hey, that's another story for another time. Either way, I understand where Rebecca's dad is coming from. Okay? So Jack is supposed to just drop her off. She's going to the country club with her parents today. And when they drive up, the dad is like, Jack, why don't you come with us to the country club? And Jack's like, no, that's okay. And then Rebecca's like, come on, Jack, why don't you come? Oh my God. And then the dad's like, yeah, come on, Jack, you can come on down to the country club. And Jack is like, all right, let's go to the country club, where I'm going to be uncomfortable, embarrassed, and have the I'm poor on my shirt, and everybody's gonna read it and then tell it back to me in smart ways, asking me stupid questions. That's what's going on in his mind. I can just about guess. So they go golfing. And Rebecca's dad is trying to put him on. He's introducing him to people, trying to get him job interviews. And Jack keeps turning all of it down. I'm like, why would you do this? Why would you turn down anything that can offer you better than what you have right now? Jack, it is your ego, and it is ridiculous, okay? I'm just saying, y'all, Jack struggled his whole life. And it just seems as if you would have just took the help like most people do, then you would have been in a better situation by the time you burnt your house down. And maybe you wouldn't have burnt your house down because you wouldn't have taken a second-hand, pot thing from somebody. Okay, what was it? A hot pot? What was it? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, they had one of those, and it had caused an electrical fire because it was old, and they had borrowed it or took it from one of the neighbors or something like that. Okay, so yeah, maybe if you would have wanted better for yourself, y'all wouldn't have had secondhand appliances that started the fire that killed you. I know I shouldn't have went that deep with it, but that's why I went. Okay, it upset me to see him not want to take these opportunities when they were kind of being handed to him, which I think translates to why Randall was so frustrated with Jack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Some people just don't. So they go for drinks. And Jack, is knocking the drinks back, but turning down interviews. After Rebecca's dad, says, I see that you knocking down all of the interviews I'm offering you. I see that you're drinking a lot. Like, he noticed the things that Jack was showing him. And I just felt like it made even more sense for him to be even more bothered by you being with his daughter. Even more. So in the car, because Rebecca's dad had to drive Jack's car back because he was too drunk to drive it himself, tells the dad in the car that I'm going to marry Rebecca. And you have to decide whether you're going to be there for the birthdays and the holidays with your grandchildren. You're going to have to decide that. So what's it going to be, Dad? You know what I'm saying? Like, just basically telling him, bruh, if we need to keep you out of our lives, it can be done. So, like, you better shape up. Dave says, it is Dave, I wrote it in my notes. He says that you will never be good enough for my daughter. And I think Jack knew that. And then Jack's drunk self tumbles out of the car. And then Rebecca has to come down to help usher him into the house. Because he's that drunk that he's falling down while walking. Oh my God. So then we shoot forward to Rebecca and Jack in the bed when the kids are in middle school. And Jack gets up and takes Randall to school so that he can meet Randall's favorite teacher, Mr. Lawrence. Okay, y'all know Mr. Lawrence is like the first black teacher that Randall has ever had, okay? There's a real bond with this man, okay? And when they get to the school, Randall and Mr. Lawrence got a little dap it there, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and it was cool, right? Jack notices this, kind of feeling left out a bit. Randall watches Tiger Woods, and Jack suggests they go play golf. Okay, watching him on television. Mr. Lawrence is always talking about Tiger Woods. He's going to change the game. He's going to change the world of golf, forever. And he absolutely did, okay? Ain't like it, it didn't make it made a nick. It didn't make a dent. Like, if you check out, like, who's playing golf. Because it is essentially a rich man's game. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent. When they go to play golf, Jack has a lot of confidence in Randall's capability to play golf. He thinks that this is going to be his game, okay? So they go golfing, and Randall tells Jack that Tiger Woods is breaking barriers, and it will still be so hard for him as a black man. And Jack tells him, I understand, son. I never felt comfortable in places like that either. And Randall just kind of like, You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of like has an attitude about it. Like, it's bothered, by him saying that. Jack does say that he will do everything in his power to make sure that no one gets in Randall's way. Then Randall wants to leave. Jack is trying to understand what's going on with Randall. Like, why are you wanting to leave? Why are you upset? What's the problem? You wanted to do this. And Randall says, Dad, you don't realize, like, you felt uncomfortable in a place like this. I wouldn't have even been allowed to be in a place like this without working there. And then you flash back to when Jack was there with Dave. And guess who was serving them? An old black man was serving them. And y'all, at the end of the day, I don't care what color you are. I hate when I see elderly people waiting on younger people. I don't know why, but that just really bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at that point, unless you really, really want to, no older person should be having to wait hand and foot on some able-bodied young person. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they're going to be sore at the end of the day. That's just how I feel about it. Jack realizes that he has to start recognizing the differences in the way Randall is about to be in this world. Who he is going to be in this world. And he doesn't really get it at first. They were just raising him, not seeing color. And that's what he told Randall. He was like, when I see you, son, I don't see color. I just see my son. And Randall says, then you don't really see me, Dad. And this is us. Yes. I'm going to tell you why I'm so happy about that. Because I absolutely feel like that whenever white people say they don't see color. I hate that statement. And I hate when black people in return say it because they've heard white people say it. I hate that because I'm going to tell you something. I don't want you to ignore my blackness. I just want you not to demonize it. I want you not to think it is less than you and your whiteness. I want it to be equal, really and truly. But it almost can never be because it's in everybody's minds. The way that it is in workplaces, the way people we constantly have to have this duality of assimilating. And at one point or another, we're going to be made to feel the odd person out or made to be felt less than in some way, shape, or form. Like, we're going to in some way have some type of fear of white folks' aggression towards us. Like, at the end of the day, there's so many things that go along with this that you will just never understand unless you have to walk around like this. It really is what it is at the end of the day. But I love that they put this in there because it's such a real statement. I don't want you to ignore the thing that I find beautiful about myself. I don't want you to ignore that. Just like you feel how you look is beautiful and your skin color, your milky skin and your blonde or brunette long flowy hair. I want to feel like my brown beautiful skin with my broad features. You know what I'm saying? However they may appear to people, but you know what I'm saying? I know I look black. I'm a black girl. That's all I know. That's how I've been treated, okay? So I just I feel like everybody should be celebrating our differences instead of trying to ignore them. That's not the route. I don't feel like it's the route to ignore things. I think the route is to validate, appreciate, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Validate, appreciate, keep it moving. That's all. When Jack gets home, he has a conversation with Rebecca about it. And Randall had mentioned that when he was going to the dojo, doing karate or whatever, when he was doing that, when he decided to quit that, they let him quit that. But when it came to baseball or football or, something that Caucasian people do a lot, no, you can't quit that, But Rebecca is like, no, it wasn't because it was the white thing to do, it was because it was far away and he had lost interest and, I'm sure he was doing all these other things. So it just kind of seemed like if you don't want to do it, it's a long drive. Let's just knock it off the list and you can just keep doing everything else that's easier, that's at your school, stuff like that. But it still was a moment of reflection for Jack, for him to realize he was now going to have to pay attention to the fact that he is raising a black child. And no matter that he has white parents, when he goes out into the world, he is seen as a black boy, meaning that he's going to be viewed as aggressive and older than he is, at a very young age. He is going to have to be prepared for people accosting him, people putting guns in his face, people not allowing him to be a kid. He is going to have to be prepared for what that could be for him, depending on where he lives. And sometimes even when you do live in nice neighborhoods, they remind you of it all the time. You know, I always think back to Ving Rhames having a gun pulled on him by a police officer in his own house because some lady across the street called the police, said this big black guy in the house across the street. Ving Rhames been living there for 5 years. Okay? So, yeah. Real stuff. Real stuff. We appreciate you. This is us. This is a good conversation that y'all are having right here. Okay? So, at school, Jack asked for a heads up next time Randall starts asking big questions when he talks to Mr. Lawrence, because he is feeling like Mr. Lawrence has a place in his son's life that he can't fit into. So I think that he was like, okay, I need to have some black friends then. I need to talk to some black people. I need to see what's going on out here. Okay, you need to get the perspective from other people, and y'all ain't got no black friends. So yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting y'all to. Normally black people don't have buku white friends. Like it's just the way things are. You know, so he invites Mr. Lawrence and his wife over to the house for dinner one night, you know, and we'll see how that goes, because that's supposed to be the next episode. So, yeah, hopefully I won't be made to feel uncomfortable by that. So let's fast forward to current time, and Randall is feeling the breeze from the other councilman because he's missed out on so many golden opportunities to hang and drink alcohol with these people. All right. He's trying to get one of his bills. It's not a bill. It's something else. I'm sorry. But it is about providing groceries and food. It's a food desert. So they want to declare the area a food desert so that they can get the proper funding, I guess, to bring in grocery stores or whatever else they need to bring in so people can be eating healthily and not always eating fast food, because, you know, that's the real thing. So, yeah, he's trying to do that. And the councilman is trying to do something for housing. So they can use each other here, but Randall has kind of left a bad taste in everybody's mouth by not being there to rub elbows. So they're talking about going to play golf, and he says, oh, I've never played golf before, but, you know, I would love to come with you guys, you know, because they offer, I think, at some point. But he was playing the game with y'all, and that's why I love this episode so good to me. So he's like, okay, let's go play golf. So the whole time they're playing golf, they are like clowning him, they making fun of him, and it's a money game, all right? So yeah, Randall is about to lose some dollars over all of this. Uncle Frank gives him a tip, okay? Because Uncle Frank is like, you know, I'm gonna help you out, you know? So Uncle Frank helps him out. The more Uncle Frank helps him out, the more he starts to like Randall. And eventually, by the end of the day, after they've had drinks and good conversation and played a full day's, you know, game of golf, he says, you know, why don't you come by my office and we can talk about your grocery thing, your food desert thing, after we talk about my housing thing. And he was like, all right, we'll do that. So that was a job well done. And then, y'all, and then we see how not only did Randall play golf that one time with his dad, but his dad kept taking him back because his dad didn't want him to be like him. He wanted him to take those opportunities. He wanted him to be the huge person that he is. He was like, you're going to be a big person in this world, Randall. And a lot of the conversations with the big people in this world happen on golf courses. So he was positioning him in that place, basically appreciating what he had let pass him by because of his pride and his ego at the time. You know what I'm saying? So he's putting all of this into Randall again, teaching Randall how to play golf. And then after he died, we see Randall as a teenager playing golf by himself. And then Randall went back on the green as an adult and you know, showed what he really can do, which was much better than what Uncle Frank and the rest of the councilmen thought. So he basically hustled him, you know, to get him to be on his side and to like him. And I just absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. So Kevin is bored, okay, and cyber stalking Zoe and showing Uncle Nicky pictures as if he cares. Then he decides he wants to go on a hike. Let's go on a hike, okay? Everything sucks here. Let's get out. So he wants to go on a hike. Uncle Nicky said, boy, if you don't get out of my face with this. Okay, Uncle Nicky is not going anywhere, okay? So Kevin goes to the gym. And once upon a time is there. A girl brings him his protein shake, and it's very flirty. And of course, once upon a time is, rolling her eyes and of course feeling some type of way. Kevin is still talking about Zoe. And once upon a time says that, she's surprised that Kevin wants kids. Because he explains, how he broke up with Zoe. Well, they broke up with each other. She broke up with him because he wanted children and she didn't. And once upon a time, I was like, wow, you want kids? It's like, okay, first of all, you don't know me like that. So assume that I don't want kids. Kevin goes on a date with the protein shake girl. I was like, oh, word, we going on a date with the random protein shake girl? Okay, I guess. And they discuss living in a small town versus living in the city and how it's good to raise kids in a small town. I find that some of the most terrible things happen in small towns. Okay? The most incestuous, terrible, messed up things that only police department of 4 or 5 people can supply. Like I'm like so naive. I'm so naive for small towns. Yeah, no. I'll live on the outskirts of a city. I always do that. But small town, nah. No. You gonna be able to smell when I'm going. They discuss kids. And Kevin loves kids, so they have something in common, thank God. Then he asks, what can they do in a small town? And she says, do drugs and have sex. And she doesn't do drugs. I said, oh, well, she's laying it on out there, isn't she? Oh, we're not even going to wait for the second date. Why would you, right? It's Kevin, right? And all you need is a movie star who treats you nice and is very sweet. Like, that's all you need. He got money. He got influence. He cute. He fine. Okay? And then he nice? What? Like, you're going home with Kevin. So Kevin is taking her back to his trailer. Because you were going back to the trailer. And, she's like, oh, wow, he parked so far away. So it's like, oh, she is not going to be down for for the naturism of this, okay? I would have been, okay? Child, I love walking in woods, especially if you're going to tell me they ain't nothing about to come out here and eat me. Child, let's go. I'm good for it. And y'all wives, once upon a time, sitting on the steps, I said, oh, Lord, once upon a time, you're cock blocking already. So, of course, he sends the protein shake girl away because he's got to listen to her complain about her husband and how they got into another fight. And Kevin says that, she's human and she's seen some terrible things. The husband needs to try to be a little bit more sympathetic to the fact that you're dealing with somebody that's going through a lot of trauma and you're not really giving any space for her to be in that place. Like, I really felt like kicking her out of the house was a stretch. Like, it was an accident. She didn't mean to hit him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why, you couldn't at least give it one more try. Like, especially if she decided to go and get help like she did. I just felt like he never really had any patience for the person she's become. And I feel like one of the biggest things that I feel like I've learned about marriage is that you have to learn how to grow together. And when a person is going through something, you have at least got to give it a try, a shot at being supportive to who they are in that moment. Not the person you fell in love with, not the person they was when y'all got married, but the person that they are at the moment. Because I feel like even if you can't be in a relationship with her anymore, you don't show her sympathy as a person for what she be going through. Like, I feel like the husband, I just don't see it. Maybe it's just me, and maybe I might be reading too much into it, but every time he has had, a run-in with her, it just always seems so negative. And when he told Kevin last episode how he felt about post-war Once Upon a Time, it seems like he's resentful. And it seems like it doesn't matter what she does, he's going to be resentful because he can still see that she needs help. You know what I'm saying? So that's bothersome for him. And I just kind of feel like you could be a little bit more supportive, bro. But okay, I guess. So Kevin is comforting her. And then she kisses him. I told y'all. And then she runs off. Then we see Uncle Nicky come over saying that they should have went on the hike. He came over to make sandwiches. That's what he liked to do. He come over because he got the good cold cuts and everything over at his house. So he come over here to make the sandwich. And y'all, once upon a time is back there in the bed. I said, oh no, y'all didn't sleep together. I thought she left. But she came back. And then they did it. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen here. I can't wait to see. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And check down below in the description box for my code SAFERMU, where you can get the cutest glasses like I have here. They're dirty. Don't judge me. Okay, so yeah, get the link, get the glasses. Appreciate you. See you in the next one.